Almost every Floridian knows a guardian ad litem volunteer. There are more than 10,000 of us, and we're everywhere, from the legislature to the county commission to houses of worship, civic groups, schools, and above all, in dependency court, advocating for abused, abandoned, and neglected children. But have you ever met a guardian ad litem attorney? Probably not. We call them child's best interest attorneys, and there are roughly 170 of them statewide. They're truly advocates in every sense of the word.
Our guardian ad litem program is very much like a family, whether it's each particular circuit and us as a whole. And our attorneys are constantly going the extra mile.
I have very dynamic attorneys that make my job much easier than it would be if it wasn't for their strengths and their passions and how committed they are to their jobs.
I can't imagine practicing any other area of the law. I can't imagine my law degree going to better use.
Guardian ad litem volunteers are appointed by a dependency judge to advocate for children who've been removed from their homes. Each GAL works with an attorney and a social worker who helps to connect the child to needed services.
We recruit volunteers and we act on people's passions to do volunteer work, and they want to help children. In that open discussion between the child advocate manager, the volunteer, and the best interest attorney is a multidisciplinary staffing. If the child's old enough, they get to be there too, to talk about what is in the best interest of the child and then advocate for it.
I think the guardian ad litem program is the most important part of the child welfare system. My job is to do what's best for these children, and that's where I rely very heavily on the guardian ad litem.
The volunteers spend the most time with the children, getting to know them in every setting, combing through their records, acting as the judge's eyes and ears. Each team member is crucial to the child's best interests.
If there is a legal issue that impacts the child, we meet that need. And we meet that need because we work alongside individuals who are able to dig and dig and dig and understand the social and emotional need. That combination is essential, and that combination is met.
For instance, GAL attorney Mark Edelstein teamed with a volunteer, Emma Henderson, who is also a nurse, on a tragic case involving the medical neglect of a baby.
I needed medical records, and I needed them to show what the physician's office had said related to come to the office, do the medical appointments, parents, and I need this to save the life of the child. She came with all the medical records, and I always knew whatever it would take to protect this child and to do the right thing, Emma was always there.
It consumed him to make sure this child got everything that it needed, and even what we thought it might need. Again, we were hoping and praying that the child would have a long future, but we never know, what's going to happen. But we just do the best that we can, all that we can, while we can.
The work can be daunting, but it saves children's lives. Eva Mae Sugg represented a toddler whose GAL and foster mom believed, despite expert advice, that he might be hearing impaired.
I said, well, with all due respect, that pediatrician's not a specialist, so maybe we need to have him seen by a specialist like a pediatric ENT.
The referral was denied, but Sugg was having none of that.
The child was seen by a pediatric ENT shortly after, and fortunately, the pediatric ENT discovered that his ears were so clogged with impacted wax that he couldn't in fact hear, and he was able to have that removed. And luckily, we were able to determine that he didn't suffer long-term hearing loss.
Our attorneys fight for each child they represent to have a safe, permanent home.
I can't put into words how it feels to see a child reach permanency. And one case that comes to mind is a child that was so severely shaken. He's not able to stand, he's not able to be off of machines, he's got a G-tube to eat, he's not able to speak, he's not able to swallow. He's so severely disabled because of the trauma that was caused to him by his parents. And the day that he got adopted and he came into our courtroom in his special wheelchair, and we were able to see his medical foster mom adopt him was one of the best days of my life.